Good afternoon, everyone. Welcome back to Zelda Speedruns. This is it. This is the final race of League Season 3, and we're here to decide the winner of the Tower of Hera division. Bydey and Eriror both coming in at 2-0, fighting it out for the last remaining undefeated. And we're joined on comms today by Clearmouse and Matt. How are you two doing?
Doing good.
Stupendous.
Looking forward to this match.
Oh yeah. Right. Cubs mentioned, that this is the final, last ever Season 3 NMG run for at least the season of League. It actually happens to be also the finals of the Tower of Hera division. Both Bydey and Eri are 2-0, undefeated so far. Both of them will not stay undefeated for much longer. They've got about an hour and a half, a little under than that, in order to kind of decide who is the grand champion of this particular season. Eri, I believe, is also having his, he is defending his title from last season, so Bydey certainly has the uphill battle in this case.
I think Eri won the first season, and then Doom won last season.
Oh,
Eri's
right,
trying to
that's
take
true.
it back.
Yeah, that's true. Right, Eri's got a vendetta. That's right. It's been 3 seasons, right? Just like it's the third one. Yeah, but so Eri, of course, very decorated speedrunner. He, of course, briefly held the world record. Oh, maybe not briefly. I mean, he does certainly hold the world record. He almost broke the 122 barrier. Had a 123 PB. Bydey, though, on the other hand, he's got a lot of momentum. He actually just recently PB'd yesterday. I believe, unofficially, of course, that he's already gotten his trash post PB run out of the way, so he is absolutely ready in order to PB again and take Eri for a ride.
Yeah, Bydey's been playing super well, like very consistent. I think both of his races were within a minute of his PB or around there. So like anytime you can do that, like you're gonna do pretty well. The competition, since they reduced the divisions to 8, is a little bit stiffer than it was in the last 2.
Just a little, yes.
Yeah.
It is. You should look at the Tower Hera division. It is ridiculously tight. Everyone, I'm not even sure who actually has like the 8th place PB or whatever qualifier time is, but I mean it is ridiculously low.
Yeah, I think you had to get a 125.11 or better to make it in the
qualifier
stage.
Are you serious?
Yeah.
Well, of course, I absolutely believe you, because I believe you are one of the 8 qualifiers for Tower of Hera division. And I actually, so I know you faced Eri. Did you face
Yes, I did.
Well?
Yeah.
Okay.
Beat me to get here. Yes.
Oh, okay, both of them. All right. Okay, so you've got some good perspective on both of them. Is what you're saying.
All right, looks like we are off. The final escape of League.
Yes. Well, let's hope that it is actually indeed the final. We would not want any catastrophes happen in the first couple minutes. I believe actually there has been some in League where escape was repeated unintentionally.
I see.
Sometimes you have to rescue Princess Zelda first in order to, you have to talk to her, unfortunately, because she doesn't really respond that well to like sign language.
And so both these guys, I mean, Bydey is actually quite good at Light World. I would say maybe he's gotten his PB down to like a very impressive 124.41, but for a long time he was like, his Light World was much better than his skill level, and so I don't expect like a ton of difference between these two guys in the Light World. Like Bydey's capable of getting those like 27 2x Light Worlds that, I mean, Eri gets on the regular, but it is still like there is a bit of a skill difference, but man, Bydey's been playing so well. He's got a real shot here.
Yeah, and of course, talking about like the PB differences versus so Eri of course has 123. Bydey is roughly about like a minute and a half kind of like difference, but as you mentioned, so PB is kind of like once in a however many runs you do at home at the the comfort without competition. This is a race, in order to even, certainly PBs have happened before on in live races during League even. But of course, in order to kind of get that on command, or even kind of get within like a minute or so, right, would be quite the feat in order to do. So
yeah, did you see Eri getting a casual 222 boomerang chest? If you don't know, that is really, really good.
Eri, Yeah, so I think at some point, Eri has certainly been he's one of his I think talents, and certainly Eri and both Bydey of course spent a ton of time with the game. But I think one of the things that I think has just been with Eri throughout is that his ability to be very, very consistent. And I think part of the thing is maybe that he also just finishes out his runs, like regardless of kind of what happens, even if they're later end game, early game, whatever disasters.
Bydey.
Really,
okay.
yeah, okay. All right, okay, we're fine. It's we're just getting our initial like hiccups. Do you think Bydey's gonna pick up like a safety heart later, or we're just going?
I don't know, because the thing is, if you pick up a safety heart, not only do you lose a second picking up the heart, but you also lose a second because if you leave escape with one heart, you save a second on text boxes. So it's a very punishing heart to pick up, but you also don't want to die. So it's like it's a little scary, but we'll see what he decides to do.
Oh man, it's just I don't know if you remember, like there was a scene from the Simpsons where there's like the good news is that he can live through escape. The bad news is that he's gonna lose a bunch of time, right? So it's just like kind of like a back and forth, like I don't know, I guess what you would do type of situation.
True. I always find that I have to make one mistake just to like get comfortable. So if that one mistake is something small like a bad ball and chain, it can maybe be beneficial for you in this like tense race situation.
Yeah, actually, a lot of people talk about, like being, having a comfy dark world, right? Whether or not that's getting, a lot of blue balls, being behind your splits, being maybe behind your opponent. There's such a thing as a comfy light world, right? Just getting some of the initial, race cars out of the way. I believe there are also a little bit of, not like major stakes, but I do believe the winner of a league for every single division, there will be a nominal amount of donation, at least given to the charity of the winner's choice, both either for Bydey or Eri, on behalf of Fox. So certainly I think that is something that is also a really good cause to go for.
Yeah, Eri still having pretty good escape here. His pace is so fast. I don't even know what pace he's on because I've never seen a pace like this from myself. So it's pretty good.
I think both of them are getting some pretty decent rope RNGs. Honestly, nothing really I think Brett has gotten at least in the way for the hallway. By the way, yeah, and talk about actually good pace. So, in terms of just like movement ability, right? Sometimes you gotta wonder if you're actually like playing the same game, or they're just like their skill levels just so like surpassed, I guess, like mere mortals, right? Because the movement that you get right now is literally just your D-pad. Like you don't really have much else. You have a boomerang, you got a sword, but all the things, whatever you have to do to use one of them slows you down a little bit. But they are like they're definitely like seconds like ahead of you, like going into escape, if not more.
Yeah, so we did see Bydey opt to pick up the safety heart, which is fair.
Yeah so far at least.
Eri's on 5:48 pace, I think this is.
It is amazing. So so maybe as a more quote-unquote casual speedrunner, if such a thing exists, right, you're pretty happy with the sub 6, right? It's kind of like a bar, and then you kind of cut your time down, right? 550s. If you get under 550, you're ecstatic, and then man, Eri, just again consistently under 550 is ridiculous.
Bydey's escape was really good too. 553, like his ball and chain was bad, and getting a 553, he had good key ride RNG. With that ball and chain is very impressive.
It's just like one of the things I just really, it's just so much hard to appreciate because these runners are so good. Like their skill level is so good. It's just like you don't have like a much worse comparison point like on display for Restream where to kind of really showcase how good they are. Like these times are ridiculous. Very, very within, I would say, Tower Para like top 2, undefeated expectations.
Yeah, Bydey's road to get here was tough too, right? He had to play, I think, Fox, who he beat like by barely a second in the first round, and then he played Relkin in the second round, if I remember correctly. So
you are correct.
Two like mid 124 runners, both runners with faster PBs than him, and he beat them both. So like very impressive.
Yeah. Oh, speaking of though, Bydey's just not having that great of luck. Getting through the Octorok landmine a little bit with a little bit of damage, but also we saw a 5 rupee drop that unfortunately we cannot pick up. So.
Yeah, that one that shot down and got him, that was just mean. Like, I don't think you could ever anticipate that happening.
Yeah, also pretty good reactions on Eri's part. So there was like a rogue Octorok kind of like near on the right side of the Stalfos Knight, and Eri was actually able to kind of like boom both of them. instead of basically either being like damage boosted, well, taking damage for one, or being damage boosted like to the back or whatever on the left.
Yeah, and to answer Twin, yes, this is, I believe, the very last race of the season, unless there's one that hasn't been run on the schedule yet.
I believe also this is the last one. I did see Fox do a little bit behind the scenes work for closing out some of the brackets. Hopefully this one is not closed out. If Fox had managed to fix that part.
All right, so I think we're gonna see both guys off for this heart here that Bydey's just picking up is pretty free. Nice magic drop on Eri's side, save 3 frames from that boomerang.
Yeah. Every little bit helps, right? I mean, even so that magic drop doesn't happen very often, but certainly, like, when you're going into Armos, when you're not expected to basically take any damage, the magic refill bar at the very end, that time is certainly going to be the bottleneck. So any little bit you kind of help out, in before you get to the dungeon or you get to the boss end, it's going to be very helpful. Yeah, and by these are like kind of like time saves or whatnot that basically the caliber of like Eri and Bydey are kind of like looking for, right? I mean, you got a lot of, let's say, quote unquote, like textbook runs for for defeating Trinex, defeating Cold Stare, and there are all these like different little like optimizations you can do just to save a couple frames here and there. People are still actually developing that too, which is really cool to see for this extremely classic speedrun.
Yeah, so Eri entering the Eastern Palace Big Key room. Like, perfect execution right there. Gets the nice damage boost upward. That saves you like a decent chunk of time, like 20 frames. Versus like getting a side boost.
Yeah, really nice there for Bydey as well. So I'm not actually sure if Bydey, I don't know if you also happen to know this, Matt, if Bydey ends up getting Sankheart in his normal PP attempts, but Eri certainly, at least for his PP attempts, is only operating on 3 hearts, basically. So...
Yeah, I'd be surprised if Bydey got it regularly, but I don't... He streams a little bit too late for me to watch most of the time, so I have not watched a ton of his gameplay. Yeah,
but kind of like in a race setting situation, it is... Sankheart, of course, we saw both of them get. May not always be the most common pickup, I guess, but for race setting, it certainly seems to be pretty consistent. Just so you kind of stave off that am I going to die situation. Certainly did not look like, in this case, that Eri and Bydey are having any real trouble here at Eastern Palace. They've obviously avoided a lot of the heavy hitters, lots, for example, like the Igors, right? Do 1 heart damage. Anti-Fairies do 1 heart, but manages just fine so far.
Yeah, nice CGR RNG. Oh, nice 20 drop too.
Yeah, the 20 and the arrow drop, man.
I think Eri's on like 1044 pace.
Yeah, so normally, we're kind of getting at like the 11-minute-ish bar, right? In order to get...
we're going off the rails a little bit here in this user.
It's okay. We're just gonna recover a little bit, and it's a good thing that Eri got, the arrow drop. Always really great to see. Looks like Bydey's gonna take a slightly different but more classical version of the Armos quick kill.
You're saying in chat, race nerves out of the way. There you go. Small mistake, just to get those nerves out of the way. That's what you gotta do.
Yeah, it's gonna be a comfy light world from here on out for both Bydey and Eri. So really, Eri should have actually like tanked his time in Ball and Chain, right? So clearly would have made his Eastern Palace go a little bit smoother.
All right, so finally now we get to go fast.
Well, Eri was already, Eri and Bydey both were already going pretty dang fast without the boost. Like, I mean, to get, sub 550 and, 547 and 553, like, escape times is, like, ridiculous, right? But, as you mentioned, this is the actual thing that we can actually do in order to press another button and actually go actually fast 4x times.
All right, so first, a minor glitch of the run here. The spin speed, that looks good on Eri's side. This is always where you remember that you didn't practice spin speed before the race, and then you regret it, but both guys executing it perfectly.
So far, yeah, both of course in terms, physical time save, right? When you do fail the spin speed, I think people said before, it is not worth it for you to try the spin speed again, just end up dashing out. But of course, also it's going to be kind of like a mental boost, just because, as you said, if you fail it, then you're like, oh my gosh, I need to practice, but then also kind of maybe sets the tone for the rest of the race too, right? It's like, what's going to happen to the rest of my spin speeds if I don't end up kind of getting this one.
Yeah, so Eri opting for the, this is kind of the most optional of the spin speeds. I've seen Eri, I think, go back and forth on this one, but both guys going for it right now. Yeah. Actually, relatively clean entries into the library as well. That entry can actually be very, very violent, shaking the screen quite a bit.
just because super speed is in fact very difficult to control. Of course, talking about kind of like not necessarily like Amy is also a kind of the spin speed is probably much more commonly seen out of library as opposed to into library.
Yeah, that one's like pretty mandatory. The one out of library. Alright, so pretty clean desert overworlds on both sides here.
Yeah, actually, Matt, like, so do you know if you're supposed to kind of like nudge and kind of go along like the edges, as opposed to like just basically making like straight dash lines down? Like you're kind of supposed to try and hug like the walls.
Yeah, you want to get the good slope dashes. Dashing on the slopes speeds you up a little bit versus avoiding them.
Okay.
Like you kind of try and see these guys maximize that.
Yeah, and right. So I think like one thing for some that's I don't know if it's considered maybe more difficult, especially for I guess like higher level speed runs, is that everything they do is very deliberate, and sometimes it can like the subtlety, of whether or not they're doing this intentionally versus they just I guess happen to be doing this because they're used to it can be actually a bit more murky. So really good to know that it actually does save a bunch of time. Or a little bit of time at least.
Really nice desert overworlds from both sides, even though Eri was shaking his head at his 245 flat. That's a pretty damn good overworld. I don't care who you are.
Different standards, man. Different standards for being undefeated.
I do like that both these guys have their cameras on, so I can gauge their reactions.
Yeah, so Eri, if you like watch maybe his streams, he's usually like a really pretty like kind of chill guy. Doesn't really seem to kind of get worked up at least outer, visibly. Bydey right now, and again I don't really watch him like as frequently, but like he looks super intense. I don't actually know if that's just part of like how he normally plays, but it's certainly quite the contrast.
Let's see, Bydey.
Oh no.
Bydey not getting good RNG in the cannonball room, whereas Eri did, so that's gonna be another approximate second there, especially considering Bydey's getting beat up.
Oh, dude. Was it just bad timing there, or?
He made a slight mistake on the dash up, and then he didn't quite recover correctly. It's hard to know what exactly to do when you've already messed up in that room, because the timing of everything is all based on you doing the right thing on the dash up.
I see. Yeah, and I think part of being part of running this game is also kind of knowing, in this case, we're doing making the best of a bad situation, type of thing. Now, of course, Eri is down 5 arrows compared to Bydey, just because he just used up a little bit more fighting the Armos Knights. I don't know if it's worth to go pick up, I guess, like the arrows right outside desert right before, or maybe like the backup ones later, or just hope for a drop.
Yeah, I
guess
think
maybe
with 24, he'll be fine. I don't know if there's some people who just never pick up the pre-Lamo pot, no matter what.
Are you one of those people?
Yes, I hate that. It's never worth it.
All right. Well, if so it only takes, in theory, 12 arrows, right, to go kill Lambos with the bow. So, Eri just doesn't have to use that many, right?
Dude, Eri's having a good desert, getting good RNG too. That Popo room can go off the rails, and it cannot be your fault.
Yeah, the RNG for the 4 of them to kind of move, just like kind of here, right? It's not like the best the RNG movement, because you kind of want the Popos to move, cluster together, so you can kind of kill them in one shot. But it certainly was not the worst. But yeah, again, these things you really can't control. All right, well, speaking of, okay, so Eri did not pick up anything. We have lit the torches. We are switching to the bow. Good luck, Eri. Bydey is surely fast behind him.
So we got on Eri's side, Lambo, maybe most difficult boss in the game.
Really?
So yeah.
Over Moldor and everything? Oh my gosh, dude, the short hops. Eri looks like he's gonna get potentially early 3 cycle if he can nail it.
Just a slash to clean up here, really nice. Okay.
Yeah, the second.
Bydey an okay first cycle, probably not perfect.
Yeah, but he's landing a lot of the arrows though. The Moldorms are also getting kind of.
He just needs one arrow in all 3 of them, I think. Yeah. Maybe an arrow and a slash. No, okay. Yeah, really nice 3 cycle.
Yeah, and the fact that the first pattern Moldorm is quote unquote predictable, but like it's the short hops, the distance, right? They all kind of matter, and it depends on how, I guess, desync they can actually be a much more difficult fight later on. So Bydey, I think, did very, very well for basically his enemy movements.
So Bydey lost a little bit of time. It was all before Landmo, but still, this gap is really nothing in the grand scheme of things.
Yeah, so right. So in terms of like content-wise, of course, the run is roughly 1/3 Light World, 2/3 Dark World. We are still in the Light World portion. Light World does matter, you know, for these people, even though they may or may not like it. And there's going to be, you know, as Light World progresses, there is going to be substantially more RNG to go.
Dude, the
deal
look
with.
of relief on Aries' face when he actually hit that portal. He was not sure he was going to. That was hilarious.
So Eri can't actually be still affected by stuff like this.
Looks
Good
like
to
it,
know.
yeah.
Yeah.
Bydey, get in there.
Bydey.
Okay, we're okay.
Okay.
He's
All
okay.
right. Okay. So swimming is confirmed to be one of the most difficult mechanics of the game, said by multiple runners. Kind of also demonstrated here. Bydey, I don't think was in any real danger of getting hit. So long as he got into the portal, just gonna take a little bit more of an extra time to kind of like maneuver himself back out of the water.
Yeah, so Tower of Hera is a terrible split. It is probably like the most reset heavy split for nearly every NMG runner, and in a race it's like really about survival. Like you just want to get out of there. You don't care if you lose 7 seconds. You just want to not fall to Moldorm, not die, and then you can move on with your run.
Yeah, one of the most commonly heard phrases during this split is just get me out of Light World. Moldorm, regardless of how good you are, whether you have a 122 PB, a 132 PB, a 5-hour PB, whatever, does not actually care, how good your skill level is. It will knock you down just as easily.
Yeah, and Death Mountain's just kind of the appetizer. You gotta avoid all these cabbages, but like some of them are unavoidable, like that one and this one that's hitting Bydey here.
Exactly.
So both Eri and Bydey, assuming he is, yeah, okay. Both of them even on getting screwed by one boulder.
Yeah. Yeah, and of course, going into Tower of Hera, like, so even though these runners both have Sankar, they only lost 1 heart, on the overall, which is actually, quite good. So they're probably operating on, standard, normal PB, whatever, comfort level zone. You still want, kind of, as you said, as much health as you can kind of get your hands on for survival. Really nice boom dash there on Eri's side. Boomerang isn't even fast enough to keep up with Eri. That's how fast it is.
Yeah, Eri probably gonna go for the. Oh, he's gonna get an actual break here. Really nice. I wonder what Bydey goes for. He's not pulling up the boomerang, which is perfectly understandable. Doing the boomerang strats in here are very challenging, and they don't save that much time. Although you get to do the cool infinite dash and sip your coffee on Eri's side.
Might be tea, for what it's worth.
That's true, it's pretty late there.
Yeah, but it's... But it certainly could be very much caffeine. But yeah, well, as you said, like one minor time difference that Eri's gonna have over Bydey is that the switch in this case, where the pegs are actually up. So Eri doesn't have to hit the switch in this very next room here, versus Bydey is gonna get a little bit of extra time hitting that. Eri's just gonna delay his dash very slightly, maybe to manipulate Moldorm RNG or something. Good torches though. We're getting there. We're getting to the big key. The point is, we got to the big key, opened it, the chest, and then we mirrored. That's the important part.
You've seen Bydey opting to throw the pot there to kill that last tile and open the door a little quickly. Nice. That Moldorm was on him. Eri gonna get the arrows. He did set up to get the arrows. He knows what drop he's on. Obviously, he's the former world record holder. Of course, he knows what drop he's on. But you saw him dash out of that room, which normally you don't do because that beetle would have dropped arrows if it had dropped an item, and Eri wants those arrows.
Yeah, that's true. He definitely ended up using a little bit more earlier.
Interesting strat on Bydey's side. Bydey's got some interesting stuff that other people don't normally do. Nice early bond jump on Eri's side. He's got his own kind of homebrewed stuff on some of these screens that are pretty cool.
Very true. Yeah. Also notable that Eri and Bydey here picking up the top pot. Their health is like quite, good. So they actually don't need to pick up like the bottom pot for that extra heart safety. Going into Moldorm with 4 hearts and Bydey presumably is going to be 3.5. Certainly, gives you a lot of. Oh my god, Moldorm. Okay, 2.5 is also good. You just really want 2 hearts going in. That's probably like a good comfort level. But again, it's about
some
survival.
nasty Moldorm RNG. Although he's kind of got it back on track now. Oh, nice read going to the bottom. Oh, okay, nice.
Wow.
The south to north dash is usually a little scary, but Eri knows what he's doing.
Yeah. The most dangerous part is just being able to get knocked down because Moldorm's in this race state. I mean, to kind of chase the Moldorm, you have to really basically as we mentioned before, really be able to read the RNG and just like that, Bydey. This is why we come in with more than 2 hearts.
Oh, I'm scared. Oh,
Okay, all right,
okay,
okay.
we're out.
No. We're all good. As you said, it doesn't matter if you lose 7 or whatever number of seconds here in Hera. Just get us out of the split, and then let's go do the fun part of the run.
Yeah, and like Moldorm is kind of where the nerves kick in, because usually you're like having confidence in Moldorm is really important, and this is coming from someone who fell to Moldorm 1 4 times in his 3 league races. But like when the pressure's on, like you can make mistakes.
I mean, you don't have to make mistakes, right? Moldorm can just screw you. Like, he doesn't have to be so nice to you. Alright. So it looks like, alright, so yeah, so Eri now, first one off of DMD, so it looks like he's actually, his 4 enemy kills here actually involves killing the pickle as well, or the buzzplow. Not really sure what Bydey, which 4 enemies Bydey does, but it certainly doesn't have to be necessarily going to be that buzzplow with the arrows, although he does have the bow out.
Nice master sword time for Eri. See what Bydey opts to do. Oh, he does the side pickle shot. That's kind of cool.
So is like the bottom pickle shot kind of like, is it faster then?
Yeah, I guess the way Eri did it is the optimal way. I don't know how Bydey's strat compares to arrowing the bird, but everything is within like not that much time of each other.
Okay. Yeah, it's just like.
I was just going to explain what they're doing is they're killing 4 enemies so that as they exit the Lost Woods, they will do a tree pull, and that tree pull will give them 80 rubies, which they need for pod.
That's right. Yeah, and we actually saw that because they were actually a little bit more fortunate, I guess, getting a bit more money in their early drops. Like for example, Eri got a 20 right before Armos Nights, kind of let them be able to skip one of the blue rupees when they do the very first tree pull. Despite the fact that there is like the 4th red rupee there, available for them, being able to skip one actually can save you quite a bit of time.
Alright, so both runners have their Master Sword. No mega disasters happen in Hera, although I'm sure Bydey's not super happy about his Hera. But we're on our way to the Dark World.
Yeah. We just have to survive the hidden perils probably of Lost Woods. Right, so it's kind of important, like in order to, the first tree pull and the second tree pull that both of them did, is they take no damage. Because if you take damage between the first and second tree pull, well, you're gonna have to redo the second tree pull or the first tree pull again, and that's gonna be, I mean, it's not gonna be a significant time loss, but it's gonna be a notable time loss.
Alright, so decent overworld on Eri's side.
Yeah, and looks like at least Eri going into Agnum's Tower with sword beams. Always going to want to be able to have those specifically, well, for many reasons, but part of the reason is for that room, so we can sword beam each of the blue guards once and then dash kill them. So we can, in this case, yes, have a bit more safety in order for Turtle Rock 40 whatever minutes from now.
Yeah, Castle Tower, really one of the most fun dungeons, in my opinion. I know. I'm slowly disappointed. It's the finals. He can do what he wants. Eri, how did he not get hit there? That was like he nudged. He knew to be far to the right, so the other guy didn't hit him, and he nudged the side and didn't get hit. That was well done.
You talk about getting lottoed from all of these enemies. Or many enemies. I don't know. It's just one of those like 1 in a million type of things where you actually have something go in or
Eri getting screwed by that guy.
Yeah.
That's rough. So that can just happen, and there's nothing you can do about it. And you really want beams for these 2 rooms that Eri's in.
Yeah. But,
Save an arrow.
Certainly. But of course, Eri doesn't, of course, know, like the backup strats because, you don't always come in here with no sword beams. Redguard's kind of taking up a little bit more health for Eri. Not quite many the first time, but it's okay. We still got some decent Circle of Pots RNG there. Bydey, though, also kind of lost some of his health. I didn't actually quite see, in this case, where he ended up losing health for, but he's also not going to be able to utilize sword beams for these rooms.
Ooh, Bydey missed an arrow.
Yeah, those spears, like, you think about what kind of happens in real life, it's like there's no way, like, an arrow is gonna just coincidentally land, and collide with a spear, but somehow in this game, it seems more common than not, so I circle pots on Bydey's side.
Yes, now we're getting to the Egg and Wine fight, and so depending on the RNG here, this race could either become further apart or get much closer together. So we will have to see how many blue balls each one of these guys gets.
Yeah, and of course this is going to be a race, and these two games are completely separate. So there is, even if you get 10 blue balls, you are not resetting because Light World we've already played through like 20 some minutes of this game.
Yeah, so Ari's gonna have 3 opportunities to either get a blue ball like we just saw there, or a energy ball, which he can reflect and damage Aghanim.
Yeah, that's right. So the first one out of the 5 shots per cycle is always going to be guaranteed energy. The next 3 are 50-50, energy and blue ball, and then the last one's going to be lightning, which you see. So I think we saw 1 on Aries' side so far.
Yep.
Yeah. And of course, being a race situation, because there's absolutely no relation between the two games that like the Aries and Bydey are playing, you're just going to hope that it's going to be relatively close, right? While the races, I won't say have necessarily been decided by blue balls, you really don't want such a big discrepancy, right? You really want, especially for Aries and Bydey, you want things to be close.
Yes, Aries already got 3.
Aghanim seems to be helping out here though for both of them.
I think Aries has a guaranteed 3. Bydey's got 2 already.
Yeah, and sometimes just depending on enemy RNG. So I'm trying to remember how many blue balls you have to get an extra lightning cycle. Is it 3?
Yep.
3, 6. Yeah. Okay.
3, 7, I think.
3, 7. Okay. Yeah. 3, 7, and then however many you have in the future, and above that is. We just don't want to think about those scenarios.
So Bydey's on 4.
Okay, so maybe hopefully he doesn't at least get 7, because an extra lightning cycle is another like 6 seconds. So we really don't want that kind of on top of being piled on for bad RNG.
So Bydey can either kill him or get a blue ball here. Nice. Yeah. Okay, so only 1 blue ball difference. That's only 6 seconds.
That's totally acceptable, especially for a race. I mean, you always want things to be kind of equal and even, but this is gonna be quite nice. Alright, coming off the pyramid, Aries got the quick hop and the spin speed off of the stairs. Always really great to see. It bodes well for the rest of the Dark Worlds. Hopefully Bydey can really do the same.
So my math is right. Aries gonna have a 31-second lead going into Dark World. There's many things in this game that can cost you 31 seconds.
Yeah, we have a little under an hour's worth of gameplay. So yes, there are many things that can happen in Dark World. Just like when you do any other PvP attempts, any other runs, you can have an extremely great start and then suddenly something happens where you no longer want to continue any type of, let's say, catastrophes. We're not necessarily going to not wish that on either runner because we really want this to be, the best performance and showcase for both Aries and Bydey.
Yes, now we're entering Palace of Darkness. Pod is a deceptively hard dungeon. You got the Hammer Yump, which is like a very challenging trick that can cost you some time if you miss. You also have Helma. Although these guys have Sankar, so they can take an extra hit on Helma, but still a very dangerous boss. Yeah,
and it's while in this case, like the actual dungeon itself may not be like as dangerous. Going into Helma, you would really like to be able to go into Helmasaur with full health, as you said, mainly because we hit up Sankar, and so we want to be able to have that extra buffer to take an extra hit.
I think Aries was lamenting that guy didn't drop his arrows for him. He's really been looking for these arrows. There was 3 blue balls on Aries' side and 4 on Bydey's side.
Maybe the mimics will help Aries out here right before we get to the end of pod.
Aries getting a bit of a left walk from that guy. If he walks to the left, you have to adjust a little bit, but Aries laid his bomb down a little bit too early.
Yeah, and while so in this case, Aries did get an Aaron hit from the bomb, probably just a little bit too close, as you said. So we are still okay in terms of health, just because there are 3 heart refills right before Helmasaur, and we are going to take another heart of damage for sure, as mentioned, when we do Hammer Yomp. The refill in the hearts, we're still going to be okay going into Helmasaur with full health. It's just kind of like when you hit that past the threshold of 3 hearts is when you kind of it starts to worry a little bit. Yeah,
the Helmasaur bro on the Hammer Yump can also drop a heart for you, which is always nice.
That's true, and I think both Bydey and Aries did not get anything from the guards, so...
if he drops it, it's going to be a little far away. Yep, okay, no, doesn't have to think about it. I've definitely failed Hammer Yump. Oh, yeah, I got it. Okay, trying to go for that heart.
Just like, you know, casual. So okay, you know, like let's see, whether or not Helmasaur is, you know, is your friend. Sometimes you won't even, you know, drop it, so you won't, you know, even be tempted to try, right? So. Bydey so far doing quite well in the front of Pod. No damage so far. So while versus Eri is kind of down too. So Eri is gonna lose a little bit of time over to Bydey, but just by picking up like the 2 extra hearts. Of course,
he's on
you know,
now.
Mm-hmm.
Don't walk in the pit.
Is
this
this
gonna be
enough
close.
time?
I think he's okay.
Oh wow, just in the nick of time. Yeah, so hammering up, of course, not only being very difficult in terms of, you know, being pixel perfect position, right? You gotta see Bydey taking a little bit of extra time and kind of like pause buffering to make sure he's on the right pixels. But yeah, you're also on a ticking time clock because that bridge is not stable. So you gotta really make it before the bridge totally collapses.
Yeah, when he was close to the edge there, if Link's like on the edge, his movement slows down because he like wobbles on it, and so it takes a little bit of time to get back to the ball.
That's actually a really good point. Yeah, no, that's actually a really good point too. Didn't even think about that, man.
So Eri, full beams, both guys, nice statue on Bydey's side. So this turtle room that Eri is going into, the skin, there's a few different RNGs in here, and you just want to be able to kill them all nice. That's what you like to see on Eri's side.
Well-behaved turtles, you know, just a very clean room in terms of execution. Bydey also had a really nice mimics in the back here. A little short on resources, you know, unfortunately. Nothing, I think maybe, I don't know, like, would you be concerned if you only have 1 arrow kind of going into Helma?
Nah, there's like, there's plenty of arrows you can pick up in the game. Helma can give you, there's a very wide range of RGs Helma can give you. This is very kind for Eri.
So far.
That's about perfect.
Oh
2 walks
gosh,
down.
wow.
Like that's like gold Helma.
Yeah, also no fireballs. I mean, that is, fireballs, I think, you know, that type of RNG you really can't control too much. You really don't, you hope that you don't end up getting stuff like this, but the fireballs end up taking not only, of course, more time, but also introduces a bit more lag in the game because you have so many more sprites on the field.
Yeah, even with that mistake with the bomb, that's a 602 pod for Eri, which is insane.
No, Eri is definitely playing very, very well. Bydey also, his execution has been quite tight. It's just some of the things that I think he's also gotten a little bit more unlucky, you know, with some of the enemy RNG. Maybe a little bit more aggressive though, going into Helma. Maybe just getting slightly nicked there.
It's okay. Still get 1 hit, get some RNGs, he should be fine.
We're fine.
Nice.
Yeah, exactly.
He'll lose a little time on the refill, but he'll be okay.
Yeah, we lived on Bydey's side, and again, this is why you pick up Saint Cart. You can basically just take that extra hit and not worry too much. Yeah, kind of at this level.
Yeah, go ahead.
I don't know. I was gonna say, kind of at this level, like, you know, you don't really think about like the refill frames, I guess, like being, you know, too much time. But yeah, at this level, they add every little bit just ends up adding up.
Yeah, like those 5 hearts, that's like almost a second, which is, you know, not a ton, but it's still something.
When you're playing at this type of level, a second is you don't really have a second to give up in most situations. So.
A nice hammer dash on Eri's side. Often walk down a little bit, which is perfectly reasonable. Yeah, so Thieves Overworld is pretty tough. It's the longest one in the game, I think. But if you can escape that pause screen without taking a hit, you're usually in pretty good shape.
Yeah, and talk about, so the Ropas, while they look really cool, you know, like when you're watching people play, they are probably some of the, just like there,
that,
right there.
Yeah.
Yep, exactly. Like, you know, talk about getting, you know, losing the lottery, sometimes you try and dash and you're just not successful. And of course, you know, being the Dark World, right, the difficulty level spikes quite significantly from Light World, and while we do have, 8 hearts of health, everything does 2 or 3, so you really don't have actually that many hits you're able to take.
Yeah, and like If
my God.
oh, that was bad too, dude. I think that's like a 1 in 16 RNG or something on the bridge
that is
there. Like he went
awful.
for the risky hammer dash. It's not even that risky, and I think he was fine. I don't think he was too far to the left. Like sometimes you just get screwed, and he was clean coming out of pod 2. Like that robot can hit you if your movement's not clean. But he was fine. Like he just got screwed twice.
Yeah. Yeah, and sometimes the game doesn't have to be kind to you. Right? All right, so I actually do see on Aries' side, you talk about actually like some mandatory spin speeds and some optional spin speed. Going into library was an completely optional one, right? The one that Aries ended up having trying to retry a second time was absolutely mandatory. We definitely want the spin speed so we can run past that red guard that is in the post-active light world because while Aries is still in full health, you don't really want to lose any more health in addition to time. Now, Bydey, of course, on the other hand, he is already down 4 hearts, basically coming out of Thieves Overworld. And while, like, you don't, Thieves Town is probably not the worst place in order to kind of go in there with, on the lower health side, it's, again, it's about survivability in Thieves Town. You always want at least a little bit of buffer, otherwise things can go sideways quite quickly. Yeah,
4 hearts in Thieves Town is not very comfortable because the Hellway just give you bad RNG and you're gonna take 2 hits. Ooh, Aerie getting the skull bush and like the super leggy bushes.
Yeah, all the fairies come out. Sometimes you're always really happy to go to see your little fairy friend, and then sometimes you're just not. Yeah, but yeah, so Aerie's gonna enter in Thieves Town, and he's going in full health, which is I guess like among what you will certainly like to see in Thieves Town. But yeah, he's gonna come into the Hellway, and again, when everything kind of does 1 to 2 hearts worth of damage, and then there are 7 enemies, and you're just trying to move past all of them, it can combo you into a lot of damage.
There is like a decent amount of optional health you can pick up in Thieves Town. I don't really see Bydey picking it up unless he takes some hits in the attic, but that is there, especially when I don't know if he watches the stream or not, but if he can probably assume that he's behind if
yeah, actually that's a good question. So I think from previous races, he does at least keep tabs on the restream, or at least where Aerie is. I guess maybe kind of depends on people's comfort zone, right? So some people really want to be able to see where they are on the race, so they can kind of play accordingly. Some people just shut it up. I'm just gonna play my game, type of thing. Aerie
like
is
just
trying
like
to
this.
get
Aerie,
through.
see that's what can happen. Like that was really bad RNG. Like he couldn't get on the pixel. He nailed the pixel, but the Patrick Star was in his way, and then they both moved to the right, so they blocked him completely. So he had to like walk to the left, and then the anti-fairy's in the way. So you just there's not a whole lot you can do sometimes.
Yeah.
Ooh, Bydey taking another hit. He's got to be a little more careful now.
Everything's fine. He's still not on 1-hit KO mode, but yes, the things are a little bit more precarious on Bydey's side. He is still not, in this case, like gone through the hallway. So hopefully his
it's a heart in here he can pick up. It's not often to pick it up, which is fine. 3 hearts is still okay.
I assume in this case, if you don't pick it up before the hallway, you're just not going to pick it up before blind. Maybe I guess we'll see what the back of Thieves Town looks like for him, but I'm just going to assume that the heart's going to kind of stay put.
Okay, Bydey's got it.
We're just okay. Walk-in's great. Walk-in's great. So yeah, taking a hit is not in the best of situation. I don't know if it was really avoidable at this point because again, all of those Patrick Stars were just basically in his way. But yeah, the fact that Bydey's here in the attic for 2 hearts, where everything is doing 2 hearts of damage, is this is when things become a bit more dicey.
Yeah, this room is a little scary. He's going down. That's the I hate this RNG.
Okay. Well, so the good news is that I think Bydey probably purposely maybe like menu uses pause buff to kind of like just give himself a little bit more time. But holy frick.
Yeah, there's like 3 movements that top left cricket can do, and I mean maybe people have different opinions on it, but the movement that it did is, in my opinion, the worst one. Bydey's getting some nasty enemy RNG in this whole race.
Yeah, no, that's 100% true. Okay, so I think he is out of the. I mean, I don't want to say anything, but I think he is out of like the most dangerous part. Like the hallway and the attic by far are, in this case, like Bydey can basically die in, with if the enemy kind of like looks at him funny. So he should be okay if he just kind of does like normal things. Oh my god, what got
nice
sent for that
That's
heart?
nice. It takes him at a 1-hit KO mode in case he makes a mistake on blind, whereas Aries is just cleaning up his blind fight nicely.
everything looks great. So just got 1 heart and a little bit of magic to kind of recover, you know, for Aries side, and then we're good to go. And we do not have to fight anything else on Master Sword ever again.
Okay, Bydey's okay. Yeah, so Eri of the 710 Thieves, which is good. I'm sure he's very unhappy with that, but still a very decent time.
Nice room there on Bydey's side. I think that's actually kind of difficult to actually execute, right? Dash over, hammer dash over, and then like hammer the pot in order to go get the prize.
Yeah, it is kind of tough. So Bydey looking good so far through his blind fight.
Yeah, I guess everyone has their different versions of scripts, right? You know, for their blind fight. I mean, you know, if it works and you don't get hit and blind ends up, you know, in the upper left-hand corner, you know, without really being much on the sun, honestly, it's a really good script.
Yeah, nicely done. He's opting for the dash off the wall. That's I like doing that one too. I think it's the best one, but it really doesn't matter.
Yeah, so long as you're consistent, as long as you play what you know to your comfort level, right? I think everything is great.
Alright, so now we gotta do a few errands here, get our 600 rupees that we're gonna use 500 of which to buy our flippers, and get the Tempered Sword, which is going to make the rest of the game considerably easier.
Yeah, and apparently, you know, the Tempered Sword is only 10 rupees versus the 500, man, you know? It's quite the different business model, for sure.
True. I mean, you can beat the game without the Tempered Sword. You can't beat the game without the flippers.
Yep.
You know, it's
yeah. I mean, yeah. You know, the Zoras, like they actually. I mean, they know supply and demand and economics, right? They know you can't basically live without them, so
yes,
they know.
Highway robbery.
Yeah. Waterway robbery.
Yeah, exactly.
All right, but at least, you know, good thing, you know, for us is that, you know, this is the village of Outcasts, you know, home of many thieves. Somehow, I guess, like, through all of the times that they have just robbed unfortunate bystanders, you know, fortunate, you know, travelers who have come across this region, there's just plentiful cash, you know, sleeping in a dark room.
Alright, so Eri entering the last spin speed of the game, for him at least. I don't think this will be the last spin speed of the game for Bydey.
Oh, really? Really? I guess I don't really know too much about what Bydey decides to do for his shopping, but also very interesting. Eri also gets Spin Stash, also quite good.
I think Bydey is a long swamper, but I don't know for sure. We'll see in about 12 minutes. Alright, yeah, so Bydey just turning in his Tempered Sword, Eri entering this screen, getting clean RNG, you can just dash straight up.
Some of the stuff looks certainly very close. Like, it looked like this spear could have hit Eri, but yeah. But I think, like, if you read it correctly, like, you should be fine most of the time, right?
Yeah, there's only one thing you need to watch out for. It doesn't happen that often. So Eri entering the easiest room in the game, clean RNG right there.
Easiest, absolutely easiest room in the game. Look at that. Except the Gibdo here is an actual, like, gatekeeper for the vanilla Vicky. It's okay though, you know, because Eri just adjusted. I'm gonna dash through him using the iframe, so he still doesn't take any damage. We will like to not actually have full health going into Mothula. I guess maybe ideally we would like to have full health going to Mothula, but full health of course gives us sword beams, which we do not want. But luckily, we have another bomb jump coming straight here. We're just gonna very conveniently, you know, solve many of our issues for us.
Yeah, nice early bomb jump. Eri opted to walk to the right because the two Moldorms were in his way.
Is the dashing through the lower side of bushes faster in this case?
I don't know. I think it's pretty even.
Okay, yeah, because nothing seemed like, I guess, like people dashing on both sides, you know, top and bottom. So I definitely didn't know if there was one was more preferred than the other. Bydey also making the
side, yeah,
really easy. And of course, you know, the Gipto, even though it looked really close, he was just kind of, I guess, like he was just part of the welcome crew. And he decided to just wave to Bydey instead of actually, you know, say hello.
Eri getting a little bit of bad RNG with this snake. If it moves to the left like that, you can't do the key dash, or you at least have to stop before you do the key dash. But it's not that big of a deal. Nice. Mummy room on Eri's side.
Always really, man.
Fancy hammer dash at the end.
When the room goes well, you are, you know, so happy. It's almost kind of like a dance, right? And when the room doesn't, it is definitely much more of a ad lib. I guess you just hope that things go well.
Alright, so into the Mothula fight, he's gonna try to do a dash double poke here, nicely done, and he's just got a dash poke him up in the corner. A bit of nasty RNG there, but he cleans it up nicely.
Yeah.
I was actually kind of surprised. That looked okay to me, but maybe he was a little bit too far away.
Mothula certainly didn't help things by going further up in the corner. You know, you kind of want him to like stay, you know, come towards you, right? The whole point of a boss is he's trying to attack you, right? Instead of running away. But unfortunately, Mothula was a bit more of a coward today.
We're getting the same Fire Snake RNG on both sides. Let's see what Bydey opts to do in this room. Looks like the same strat.
Yeah. Oh dear. It's okay. It's okay. We just took a little bit of a hug from the Gyptos. We just have to beat the bunny beam here. Everything's all good. Yeah, of course. Slashing the Gyptos into the spike in order to do gold sword damage, which of course we're never going to get for this run, and definitely speed things up quite a bit.
Alright, let's see what Bydey needs to get an upward moving conveyor as well. He only got one hit there, so he's got to be a little careful. He's got one more on the block. That should work. Ooh, it didn't. That was kind of mean.
Wow. Yeah. What a jerk. Yeah. So unfortunately, Mothula, right? Like because he's in this giant arena of spikes. So the game director, developer's like, well, you know, we can't have Mothula taking damage to spikes, right? Because that would be too easy. So then they made Mothula immune to the spikes. And so, you know, when you knock Mothula into a spike, you gotta have to try again and basically let, you know, the tempered sword register the damage as opposed to the ricochet.
Yeah, so like really subtle things. You saw Eri dash into the warp on the bridge there. Like that was a mistake, even though it didn't look like a mistake. You saw him shaking his head. I guess you guys can't see the camera, well, we can. But like he meant to stop and like move to the right pixel so he can get a faster warp. But it's just like there's so many like small imperceptible things like that. Is he gonna get hit? No, he's good.
Wow.
That
was a great use of the mirror of the menu buffer though, in order to try and stave that off. But holy God, it definitely looked like he was gonna get hit if he didn't do anything. So.
Is that a thing? Can you like win a frame roll by pausing there if he's gonna hit you?
I mean, I assume you can. I don't know, but we can ask. It certainly looked like you could because I guess like when you menu, like your actions change, right?
Nice quick fish on Eri's side. Oh, Bydey with a miss flute. That's always annoying. Bydey with another miss flute.
Oh no, it's okay. It's just shake off the little minor time losses. It's not going to be as big of a deal. Eri getting some iframes going into Zora's domain. This one is a bit more unintentional. It's okay. We just gotta see a little bit of extra content from Bydey. You know, we don't really visit the potion shop very often, honestly, because you know we're here always in the Dark World, and we never ever mirror over. Somehow, you know, all 4 bottles in this game just escape us entirely.
See what Bydey opts to do. You can do a safer dash on this screen. No, Bydey's going for it. Nice. Did not get lottery. You get hit by that guy that Bydey just killed, and there's nothing you can do about it sometimes, and it really sucks because having beams and ice makes the dungeon much faster. Yeah,
no, you definitely. So right, we're kind of getting to a point where, at least like for the later chronological dungeons, which you know in a speed run, we certainly want to try and make things go as fast as we can. So we might do a slightly bit more deviation from the original intended order dungeons. And yeah, so the later dungeons you really would like full health going in, whether or not health is your resource or your best resource, or you in this case want sword beams in order to go make the early parts of the dungeon go a little bit faster, or both.
Yeah, so this room in particular that Eri's in is much better with beams.
Yeah, anytime you see anything that's floating or can electrocute you, like the pickle, you know, like the bluzz blob, any bars whatsoever, if you have sword beams, that is, those are your best friends. You never want to touch a bar.
Yeah, so the set of rooms that Eri is about to go in after he hits the switch here, I think like some people consider it the most challenging set of rooms in the game. It's definitely up there, like with this bombable floor, and then you have to get the key and do the Ice Palace bomb jump. Like the RNG in this room can be bad, although this is very nice RNG on Eri's side.
Maybe someone can also rename this room to the second easiest room in the game or something. You know, when the bars all like move out of your way. Bydey though also having, you know, actually relatively good safe overworld. We're coming into probably the last stretches. We just don't want to get hit by the crabs. Thank you. Good thing we have a sword. It looks like he is actually just gonna wait out the sword, which is also fine if you want to save out, save your magic, save your bombs or whatever. It's also good.
Yeah, nice adjustment on Aries' side there for the Ice Palace bomb jump.
Yeah, while it hasn't been demonstrated really by either runner in this case, if you ever fail a bomb jump or things don't quite go your way, it's doubly punishing because one, you're down the heart, right? That you may not, want in this case like be down health for, but you're also down a bomb. And of course, being a very, very optimized speed run, you really care a ton about your resource management. So if you have to, there are always gonna be like backups later for you if you really need them, but still, like in order to kind of like be able to adjust on the fly and take like some minor time losses later on can actually be pretty significant as well.
Yeah, both guys actually getting their prize pack bomb in Ice Palace, which is kind of rare, and it's kind of nice for both of them. All right, so now we're entering into the Cold Stare fight. Cold Stare, notoriously maybe the most dangerous boss in the game. I think Eri goes for single poke.
Double, I think?
Nicely done.
Yeah, no, this is a the execution skill level for both Bydey and Eri is quite high. So while Eri and Bydey makes it look super
we're hovering
easy,
on Bydey's side.
Amazing. No, this is great. So Bydey is gonna save himself a heart and a bomb. So good. Good job, Bydey.
We're gaming now. All right.
Nice pin gator, of course. Oh, this actually does look really cool if you're basically kill all of them with one sword spin. Yeah, looks like no slide for Bydey, but still a very clean entry into the stairs. Of course, you ever played with ice physics, arguably the second most difficult mechanic to control in the game. Second, of course, to swimming. And yeah, getting into that staircase actually can be very awkward, especially you can try to like slip and slide in, and what Bydey did was quite good. Okay, so right, you did mention in this case, Eri had done his last spin speed of the game. We are headed to Swamp, where we can get the hook shot, so we never have the sword spin again.
Bydey entering his Cold Stare fight. Clean so far. Interesting. Facing down. This is, I guess, a Bydey strat.
Yeah, no, looks great, right?
That was kind of cool.
Really cool. Yeah, no.
I wonder if that's a timing thing.
Yeah, we can totally ask him about because as you mentioned earlier, so Bydey's got his I would say his own set of Bydey strats, right? You see a lot of maybe more commonly seen, like the single poke, double poke, six slash, whatever for Cold Stare, but I think Bydey's got a couple of tricks up his sleeve here in order to kind of balance.
Yeah, so Bydey has an 831 Swamp in his PB. I'm guessing that includes both an Ether Medallion and an Ice Rod.
Okay, very fair. So in this case, we are going to see potentially here a little bit more of a divergence, right?
Yes.
Thank you, Sword Beans. always really great to see. Yeah, but in this case, Eri, of course, beelined it to Swamp because, again, he values the hook shot above the Ether Medallion. Probably more he values the hook speed versus anything else. Bydey, on the other hand, probably values a bit more of his health because he would like to have a stronger guarantee. He's going to have full health going into Mire, so he's going to take the risk, as we saw earlier, that we were here the first time trying to go up to Hera, that Death Mountain can be quite finicky, quite dangerous. In this case, everything's okay so far. But if you're gonna take damage now, you want to take damage before you enter Swamp, where you're basically not, really in danger of dying.
Yeah, and so these two routes are not gonna converge for 2 more dungeons. And so not until we're entering Turtle Rock will we really know what the difference between these two guys is.
Oh my gosh! Oh my gosh!
Dude, Bydey. Everything's being so mean to him. That's so rare that I don't know if that has ever happened to me.
Yeah, I mean, and honestly, like, the fact that Dead Rock is, like, that far middle into the bridge, like, normally you kind of see, like, at the very beginning, maybe guarding it, but it's like, who dude. Bydey, you know, I mean, this is maybe one of the reasons why you go up to Death Mountain first, right? Is that, you know, you need to just take the damage, right? And just trying to use the items to power the Dead Rock. It was really good on him for basically not slashing and like freezing the Dead Rock because he definitely cannot get through. And if you get Dead Rocked, it's like 8 seconds or something of time loss, or you have to, you know, leave the screen, come back, and reset. Man, it is such a pain.
All right, Eri corrected me. Right, Eri does the same shopping that I do. Yeah. It's Myra entry where we're going to converge, so not too much farther.
Yeah. Okay. So then Bydey's gonna right. So I guess in terms of also route divergence, so Bydey's menu is also going to be just slightly different, right? Because he has Ether in his arsenal and Ice Rod.
Yes. I don't know how many menus go through those items, but I think there's a couple maybe that make a difference. Alright, Eri seems to be having okay Swamp so far. Swamp is kind of the most boring Dark World dungeon. It's really challenging, but there's not a whole lot that's going to kill you in Swamp.
Yeah, right. I mean, like you can see from his health that he did get nicked somewhere. I mean, most of the enemies, even on Green Mill, don't do a lot of damage to you. It's just more of the, if you're trying to dash, you really don't, you want to be able to continue your dash versus getting hit and then, you know, getting knocked out of your dash and having to restart your dash, you know, and whatever. Just, okay. Well, you know what? The Selfos didn't die, but Eri also didn't really get stopped in this round, so I guess it all works out. Alright, so Bydey
getting some good RNG in this room. He's gonna be able to dash straight down.
Yeah, always really cool to be able to see. At least enemies, you know, especially for in this case for Bydey's side, cooperating a little bit, you know, versus being, well, uncooperative, basically from the, you know, like from when we started.
Yeah, Eri good on resources too. There's some optional bombs and arrows you can pick up in Swamp that are kind of slow, but I don't think he will be picking those up with 2 bombs and 20 arrows.
You mean for the refill room or the restock room coming up? Is that? I didn't realize actually how slow those were, because they're like the pots are right there. No.
I mean, like there's a lot of pots that are right there, but it's still kind of slow.
That's also very fair. Very fair.
Oh, we're getting the arrows. Okay, fair enough.
Yeah, but just like in the, I guess in the waterfall room, right? You know, Eri wants to be able to. So Swamp Palace, right, in general, is a very slow dungeon. Like it tries really hard to try and impede your movement, because like even dashing shallow water, you can only go 3 times as fast, you know, versus like the 4 with boots. And of course, being able to, you know, being knocked out of your dash, right, also means you have to retry. It's just a lot of little minor cuts here and there.
Right, Eri getting a fast-moving Argus there. He might be able to clean this up. I think he's so fit. Yeah, nicely done.
Man, yeah, that was really good. When Argus kind of like rushes you or he's not cooperative, like, and again, being able to recover and kind of read and readjust is very, very powerful in order to be able to save off the 0 cycle.
Just got Bydey making his way through the Swamp as well.
It's just really difficult to really
all of the enemies are still alive in this room. You don't usually see that.
Yeah. Bydey got through though. I mean, you know, it actually looked better than the hellway that he had earlier. That was pretty dangerous. It's just really difficult to kind of also just show like how good both Bydey and Eri are. Like, to being able to handle the RNG, like, it makes it look easy because even when enemies are around them, they're able to recover well. Or like when the enemies are not around them, like they've already done the setup to basically, you know, keep the enemies away, right? Through some sort of either just like movement or, you know, like manipulation. I mean, it's just so good.
Dude, Bydey goes above the block in that room before the drop to the big key. Is that a thing? I didn't know that was a thing. Bydey's done like 4 things in this run that I did not know were things that you can do.
Is it supposed to be more of a safety, I guess?
Maybe it's like a super risky strat. Yeah, maybe he's just going all out now.
Yeah, I guess especially if he's maybe more aware of, you know, the state of the match. There's kind of not much of a reason, I guess, maybe to try and save yourself a couple extra frames at the cost of, you know, because I guess like the downside is that you, well, I mean, you're still down, right? You're still doing downtime, so may as well try and make up some time.
Yeah, so now seeing Eri clean up all the shopping, getting his Ether Medallion and Ice Rod that we saw Bydey do before he went into Swamp Palace.
Yeah, and no dead rock so far whatsoever on Eri's side. Nothing on the bridge. No damage, which is, you know, definitely what we definitely really would like to see, what Eri would like to see. Now, of course, there are going to be some backup parts that you can actually try and farm, you know, with crabs here, because, but, you know, we certainly would like to not have to do that.
Yeah, this looks like pretty clean. Ice Rod screen on Eri's side.
Yeah, no hidden dangers under the grass either. No bombs, no bush guards or no grass guards. Yeah, Eri's looking pretty good for a damageless overworld.
All right, now we see Bydey approaching his Argus fight. See if he is also able to pull off the zero cycle. Oh, missed the first one. You gotta be really quick now.
Yeah, well, Bydey's almost though. Oh my gosh, though, Bydey, don't die! Holy frick! Okay, we're just gonna play it safe. It's everything's okay. We just need to live. Just like yeah, just Argus is an incredibly dangerous boss if things do not go right for you. You actually saw how fast, you know, so every puff does 2 hearts of damage. You really kind of saw how fast all of them just kind of comboed Bydey to the point where Bydey was actually in danger of dying.
Yeah, if you make a mistake with a zero cycle, it's really easy to take 2 hits. If it's Argus is moving down because the puff and the body can hit you.
Yeah, and sometimes, you know, right, and like, so not only of course does it hit you, right, and you take 2 hearts of damage, it can, depending on how it hits you, it can damage you into other puffs, right, or like other parts of the enemies, and then you just kind of get like a giant negative spiral at that point. But it's okay, you know. Bydey is a survivor. He has not died yet so far, despite many attempts on Ganon's part in order to try and impede our hero. Bydey's just absolutely trucking along.
All right, so we are approaching mired torches on Eri's side. I think this has got to be 123 pace for Eri.
Even with how many blue balls do you get? You get 3 blue balls?
Yeah.
Wow, that's crazy. Just goes to show you, you know, how good he is.
So yeah, so normally you say about like 20 minutes from mired torches to the end, but when you used to have the world record, you can do it in like 19 minutes and 20 seconds. So
yeah. Though Bydey's not too far behind, of course. You know, I think his pace. He has gotten a lot of kind of like bad luck, and it's just kind of like been, you know, kind of like nickel and dime like here and there. But you know, certainly has been quite a solid performance so far. Yeah, of course. Bydey, having already gone up the mountain to go get his ether and his ice rod, had really no real dangers going from swamp straight into mire. So we're definitely going to see some nice fast mire 2 strats here, using a combination of sword beams and fire rod. And of course, magic's not actually be too big of an issue in terms of resources, just because we actually saw it on Eri's side earlier. Going up to torches, we already have that really nice magic refill, so you can use as much magic as you want before that.
Yeah, but Eri fired an extra shot in mired torches. I think he's got to pick up the magic in.
Oh, right. Yeah, that's true. Yeah. That's also a very good point. Right, he tried to fire 1 extra shot for the second torch because he didn't quite get the move of the second walk-in. But we just also have a small magic pot right there, so I think we're now okay for torches, or for
yeah, it's fine. Yeah, it was just 1 extra shot, and so that bot put him back to full, or not full, but what he needs.
Yeah, also Eri going into Vitreous with a quite nice. We're still in the very nice and comfy health territory. This is why we pick up Segpart, just so we don't have to worry unnecessarily.
Job on Spooky 1 there for Eri.
Yeah, fast dash for Spooky too. So right, basically the Fire Rod and all of the anti-fairies basically just act as switches, like just like the one that you see up top that we don't actually have to go all the way up there for. So it definitely saves us a bit of time. Yeah, and Eri, of course, using his health as his primary resource here in the Vitreous fight. They're going to damage boost and take 1 heart of damage from the slime versus the 4 hearts of damage from the eyes. Nice. Nice phase 1 for Vitreous. Yeah, not even any cleanup either. Just very clean spins.
Yeah. Yeah, the crazy thing is, it looks like Eri lost like 8 seconds on his PB in that mire. That mire looked really clean to me.
Yeah. Well, when you have a 123, I don't know. It's just like, I mean, you can kind of see, well, right, on Eri's webcam, you kind of see him like shake his head, right, like, oh man, what the heck happened, type of thing when he fired an extra shot, and torches. But the standards, right, for when you don't have in this case a lot of time to lose from your run. It's just very different. Alright, Bydey's going into the basement with considerable, I think, a little bit more health in area, and hopefully so he should be good to go.
Nice job. Looks like he's clean on Spooky so far.
Yeah. Most important for us thing that we want to be able to see is we have a little bit of dust kick up right before. What? Did you see that?
Oh, okay.
Wow.
What is that?
It's like
add that to the list.
Dash? Yeah, holy cow. Oh man, Bydey is
Oh, beautiful Waffle House on Eri's side.
Yeah.
Thank you.
You love to see it. Where's the emote, man? Alright, the world is a slightly nicer place. We can go for some waffles right now.
Very clean clean video so far. Just
a little bit of cleanup.
Done.
Yeah, we're all good to go. Yeah. He did, Eri. Yes, he did. He's catching up to you. Yeah, very, very solid fights from both Eri and Bydey.
Oh, nice free quick warp.
Bydey has a small reminder for himself to not menu to the mirror. I guess there's maybe a little bit more of a debate. I guess I don't know. Like, are you a menu to the mirror person on the Mire split?
I don't menu to the mirror on any bosses, so I'm with Bydey on this one.
Okay, that is perfectly understandable. If you don't menu to the mirror, there is no chance of human error to accidentally mirror out. That is 100% true.
I support Bydey's cause. Where do I donate?
Pick a good charity. Alright, we are all ready, yeah. We are all ready for, at least for Bydey to also do a Waffle House. Hopefully we're gonna get some good Waffle House and pancakes and syrup. Also, Eri into Turtle Rock. Alright, so all of the prep work that we did in Aga Tower, right, is finally going to pay off because with full health going in, and a mostly guaranteed health refill from a fairy that we're gonna
I'll
get
take
a little
that,
bit later
Bydey.
here.
That was nice.
Yeah. We are going to be able to do some really nice damage boosting and use, again, health as our resource. We're going to go fast.
Nice. So Eri entering Chomps. Chomps are mean. They've claimed many a runner in this season of League. Hopefully Eri gets. Oh yeah, it's looking nice. When you see that left guy go right twice, you know you're in pretty good shape.
Yeah, again, Eri and Bydey make things look very easy. So Chomps is, as you said, a very notorious room. Some people, would certainly consider Chomps to be the worst enemy in the game. I mean, it is definitely up there, versus like Dead Rocks. And Chomps are certainly very, very dangerous because they can take out 4 hearts of your health, and especially with their 2 of them with a 1-2 combo, suddenly you are in quite a bit of danger if things don't go right for you.
Eri getting the bottom left. This is the fastest, but also the most difficult RNG, although he executed it perfectly, but losing his fairy in the process.
It's okay. I mean, Eri's movement has been extremely clean so far, and throughout this entire run. It's okay. We don't need a fairy.
Yeah, he's gonna want to pick up some magic in Pokies too, maybe.
does he still technically has enough, right? It's just
Yeah, if you
it
do
would
fast
just be
laser
very
skip, you're
convenient.
fine. Yeah.
Okay. Yeah, Bydey, by the way, was able. So he still had full health, taking on to the conveyor room in the second one for Turtle Rock. So he was able to just beam those Baris away. They can't hurt you if they're no longer alive. Eri not picking up the full magic, not quite in his path, but it, you know, it could be close.
Yes, this room, that area's coming to you. This is the one room where it's kind of nice if you get that fairy and you have beams. It makes it a little
True.
bit faster. Ooh,
Yeah, something like half a second. Bydey. Okay, so not necessarily the most ideal hit to take from a Pokey, because we would still ideally like to be at full health, as you said, right? After the fairy refill, you know, or the health refill, we would like full health going into Crystal Roller. But in this case, the Pokey, man, that the ricochet from the one of the balls, I guess, really was in a terrible position. But you know, luckily, Bydey at least has most of his health back.
Yeah, so Eri used an extra cane block in Crystal Roller, so he's gonna have to adjust in the room too before trying to X. It's gonna be a little slower, but it's really not that big of a deal. He's just gotta throw some pods.
Yeah, I was gonna ask. Yeah, so is it just gonna be like a pot day? I have, I believe, seen like one person maybe do like boomerang stretch or something at the very end because maybe we ran out of pots or something. But Bydey, on the other hand, is definitely not gonna have that problem because he got the full magic drop. Alright, but this is gonna just be slightly different content, you know, for us. Otherwise, luckily though, the Pokey and the Anti-Fairy cooperated quite well. They didn't really get in the way. There was a little bit of lag, but Eri definitely got through.
Alright, now going into the Trinex fight, I'm assuming Eri does some dash, pokes, shenanigans.
Just to save for the magic refill. Yep, there it is, right there. Can save himself one Ice Rod shot.
Yeah,
and honestly, right. I mean, honestly, though, if you've ever tried to use the Ice Rod, like you can understand and you can relate just how finicky and terrible that item is.
yeah, that strat is like, it's not that bad once you know what you're doing, but I have found learning it tough, and it does not save much time. But when you're at the level that Eri's at, you need those tiny time saves. That's like all you got left.
Yeah, given that Eri was really only down 4 hearts, I mean, I think the refill actually did matter in this case, right? Because it would have, because the health's gonna refill faster than the magic bar.
Yeah, he is collecting his time save.
Alright, let's see in this case. Right, Eri also did, of course, as you mentioned before, fast laser skip, so we didn't have to do anything else. Bydey, exact same thing. So super nice.
Just getting the beetle. When the beetle goes down, it's always nice. Saves you some time.
Oh, heck yeah. Yeah, because, right, so, like, if you do the fast laser, like, part of the thing is like, you get to kind of, like, use... You can't kill the beetle outright, right? But you can certainly move past him because he's kind of already in, like, the hit state, right? It's like, when he's still on the bridge, things just, you know, now you're kind of playing, like, chicken, right? Or beetle, whatever, with that thing, and then, you know, it's almost kind of like a standoff, and you just have to dash back before he basically comes at you. But if he falls off the bridge, you don't have that problem anymore.
Bydey opted for the more traditional Trinex fight. Nice that Ice Head kind of
stayed
where he wanted it to.
Okay, Eri, alright, entering GT. We are going to go and collect our GT big key, which is at the furthest possible location, I think, in the entire dungeon. But that just means more content for us, so...
True. I think this is a gold TR for Bydey. That was a really good dungeon for him.
Yeah, so far, like, his movement was quite good. I guess we're gonna find out after this cutscene. I'm sure there is a cutscene time where we can maybe just do a little bit math, but, you know, we'll just find out live, in real time.
Well, we got Eri making his way through the GT basement.
Yeah, and so of course we did see when Eri came downstairs, we did patch a small key on the torch. So that is one of 3 keys that you can get. You only need 1 of them out of the 3 possible. Of course, that one is by far the safest, but also the slowest. And did you say before, like that's like a second or something's worth of difference? Like to get the torch key versus like the mini helmet key? Or
Yeah,
like the Moldorm one?
But yeah, that was a 655 turbo rock for Bydey.
It is, yeah.
That's like, that's
Bydey,
really
holy
fast.
frick.
I think that's like a 2-second gold for him. You can see him dancing in the camera now.
No, Bydey's having a blast. But I mean, the fact that, you know, like, you're getting gold splits, right? On live.
Ooh, Eri's gonna get a little punished here by that anti-fairy. He's gonna suck away a lot of his magic that he needs later on. Eri's shooting an extra arrow up, so he's gonna have to adjust, but I think that's fine. Just gonna slow him down a tiny bit.
We gotta mirror trust her. The good kinds. Yeah, I was actually gonna ask, like, if you know, with 12 arrows starting your climb, like, would it be worth it in order to go get the 10 arrows, right, from the same room as the vanilla key chest? Looks like at least Eri's answer is no. So.
I don't think anybody would get it with 12.
Okay, 10, 8.
Yeah. I don't get it with 8. I don't care.
Okay.
I just gamble,
okay, but. Fair. I mean, you know, so I guess, I don't know if it's observational bias, but I mean, like, these mimics, at least, you know, seem to be pretty friendly, at least with drops. So, you know, chances are you're gonna get a 5-drop somewhere.
Of course, right. Fancy new bow down.
It's great. It's great. You know, just like I think like the poke on Trinex, right? I think once you kind of learn it, it definitely does seem a bit more consistent and it's faster.
Nice Cannonball Z there.
Yeah.
What a
true
gamer.
NMG. You know, there are energy runners here. Yeah,
right.
but of course, yeah.
Yeah, entering the gauntlet here. 5 heavily execution-based rooms. Eri recovering nicely after missing the up slash.
Yeah.
Collecting a magic drop too, which is nice too. He can get his last one in this room.
Yeah, the staff were not very cooperative, but yeah, Eri was able to kind of like.
Oh no, Bydey missed the chest. Oh, he did. Bydey get the pot.
Oh my gosh! Oh, are we? Oh man, are we worried about magic?
We're worried about magic on. Yeah, well, I mean, they both got wrecked by that anti-fairy.
So, I mean, there's nothing like a small magic pot in the first room, like with the switches. It's just, man, okay, all right. Magic's just be a little bit tighter. Yeah, because I guess
well,
like
we're through our most. That's all that matters.
Yeah, that is very true. Yeah, of course, Bydey ended up picking up the back arrows. We're gonna climb starting with 17, which is a very healthy number of arrows. It definitely does not need any more, and it doesn't need to depend on any type of like drops here. But yeah, the magic is a bit more worrisome.
Yeah, there's a few pots you can pick up. There's one pot in this room, and there's a couple more, and plus a couple you can get a prize back drop like Eri did.
Eri's gonna have just enough, I think, with this pot pickup.
Yeah, he's all good.
Yeah.
Really nice mix too on Bydey's side.
Oh, look at that! And Bydey does the arrow strat too. Oh, so good to see. Bydey, please. Okay, so Bydey is gonna be climbing a gauntlet in just a little bit of less health than Eri had initially.
Well, that was kind of BS on Eri's side. The look on her face was like, I don't know about that one.
Okay, so we're gonna go get a bomb. Sometimes the bomb hitbox is surprising.
That was weird. Like, I don't really know what happened there. Ooh, Bydey getting blasted. I'm not scared. Nice arrow. Like, I've seen so many new things. Oh, I'm so scared now.
Bydey. Yeah, it was a lot basically to take down in the gauntlet, but you know, Eri didn't want to be shown up by Bydey doing the Ice Palace hover versus the bomb jump, so decided to do the Moldorm 2-1.
Yeah, anybody had to go all out. There was no slowing down in his position, so
Yeah, I mean,
you gotta respect him going out on his sword there.
No, 100%, right? And he took 3 damage here in the spike room, and it's certainly we're sacrificing some health for some speed here. And luckily we had actually a surplus of arrows, so Bydey's actually gonna be. Gosh, dude. Oh, okay. There are 5 arrows here in this room that are not despawned. Okay, and we got a drop.
Doing a dance. Okay, okay.
Oh my gosh. Okay, all right. So would you take the refill room here, Matt?
Yeah, but you gotta survive this spike room first.
That's true. That's true. Okay.
Oh no, he missed the pot pickup.
Oh,
you gotta be real careful.
Oh my gosh.
Oh, he locked a lot of spikes in there.
Oh
no.
Okay. That is really. Oh man, that is just a danger zone. Like an actual like spike field.
Alright. Eri, into the Ganon fight.
Gauntlet can be difficult, you know, even and can get the best of us. Yeah, but yeah, as you said, Ares in the Ganon fight, so we are a few more phases. So Ares looking at he's setting up, you know, quite well in order to kind of speed through the first 2 phases in order to get what we call is the 1-1. So one phase for phase 1, 1 phase for phase 2. Ares, please don't get hit again from the bats. Okay, we got some heartbeats of encouragement to kind of carry Aerie through, you know, the rest of the fight.
Okay, we see how many warps. Oh, looks like Ganon is warping a little bit here.
Bydey doesn't have arrows. This is a bit more dangerous. Yeah, so I think what happened, at least for Mimics 2, is Bydey accidentally mirrored, is what it looks like. It's this one?
Bombs? I don't even know. Are there arrows in here? There are arrows in here. Ooh, Aerie going for the top right case and just misses it. That was really tough to get. Cleaning up this Ganon fight nicely.
Yeah, looks like actually Bydey has decided to at least take a slightly safer route through the switch room. Trying not to basically sacrifice as much health as he can.
And Ganon is down, so that is it. Aerie going to win his second NMG League. The time she's going to be just over 124.
Yeah, and the fact that he has what three blue balls, right? You know, if we kind of just take those, take one of those away, right? We have a 123. Aerie has played quite well.
Yeah, that bomb did what it was supposed to.
Yeah,
we would have a 123.
Yeah,
that was kind of BS.
I like totally forgot about the bomb situation.
We'll see if we can get Aerie in before an interview. Alright, so Bydey, we've gotten through Mimics.
Yeah, round 2 for Gauntlet. Things look pretty smooth so far.
I saw in Bydey's PB that he nailed the Kane land mode 2. I just want to see a Kane land mode 2. Then I can finish League happy.
I think I saw that actually maybe one of the restreams too. Speaking of though, looks like we are joined by our season 3 champion, Aerie. GG's.
GG's.
Yo, thanks. Yeah, it was a run.
Look pretty good from our side.
Yeah, you're always your own worst critic, right? So it just never stops. Yeah.
Oh, Aerie, can we take a very slight pause on the restream
here
and watch
see if he nails this.
Do the Kane Samaria strats for Lambos?
Oh, let's go.
Oh,
almost. That's gonna save a ton of time.
Yeah, it's a
it's
short
rude.
Too.
Yeah, there are just some RNGs where it doesn't work. I think when Yuzu analyzed it, he tested a bunch of different strats and timings for it, and it's like a 30-35% success rate.
Oh yeah, that's not the best. But yeah, there was some good in this run, right? Your pod was pretty good, even with that like bomb mistake. It was still like a 602 pod. You gotta be pretty happy with that.
Yeah. Pod was definitely really good.
Your escape looked pretty solid.
Oh, Escape was also really good, and then Eastern was really good until Armos.
Yeah, you're on like 44 pace going into Armos.
Yeah, with Sankard.
Yeah, yeah, it's pretty insane.
So, yeah, I don't know. Racing always kind of brings out different nerves, and I've not been like running that much actual NMG, so some of the consistency is missing. But yeah.
Oh, you've been
It's
still.
still good run.
Yeah, I was gonna say, but you've been still kind of. Oh my gosh, Bydey. Bydey has had quite the gauntlet experience, by the way. Multiple attempts, and kind of seems like we're kind of always on the 1 to 2 heart range. By the way, do you know what happened? For this bomb thing that Bydey just went through?
I don't know. I guess I threw too low, so it bounced back a little. Maybe I threw too far to the left, so it was just out of the range. I'm not exactly sure. I'll have to rewatch it.
I was very confused. It looked fine to me.
Yeah, I didn't feel like I did anything differently, but that's always how it goes. There is always like very small things that the game doesn't like.
Yeah,
nice,
for sure.
Nice offer on Bydey's side, by the way.
Oh yeah, and of course, I don't know if you ended up kind of catching what Bydey did in Ice Palace as well. He also hovered instead of bomb jumped. Also really cool to see.
Oh, nice. Yeah, that's awesome.
Yeah, and of course, I think we also maybe noticed that he did the fire rod dash, I guess, for Spooky in Meyer based it. That was actually, at least that was the first for me to see on Restream. I don't know. I guess is that something that you might be interested in ever putting into one of your runs?
I kind of fiddled around with it like a week or two ago. It saves actually like a second, and it's really cool.
Really? A whole second?
But you can frame roll the fire rod shot through the spike, and there's nothing you can do about it. So it's like a 20-25% like fail rate, and well, if you do that, then you need to go for it again. And then you also lose the ability to go for Spooky free, which then loses another 3 seconds on top of that. So it's
because you get a magic, right?
Yeah, exactly. So that's not something that I'm very into.
No, I think that's absolutely very reasonable.
It's kind of the same as skipping the arrow pod in Eastern. It's like, sure, in the runs that it works, you save a second, but otherwise,
yeah,
you're just going to reset.
Mm-hmm.
And especially like an hour into the game, that's.
Yeah, I guess that's true. Like, if you're gonna take a risk, you kind of want it to be early, as opposed to this is in, and I guess like this isn't a risk that you want to force upon yourself so late. So very very reasonable.
Yeah, huge respect for the runners who do go for it, because that is a super cool strat. Oh no, buddy.
Scared.
It's okay.
Looks like we're okay.
Everything's fine. Oh, I can just. All right, everything's fine. We're just gonna.
There's no way this is a 1-1, right?
No.
Okay.
But we're alive. That's what matters. So yeah, Ari, how'd you feel about your whole league season? I think you had some pretty good runs. I think your week 1 was a 123, wasn't it?
Yeah, the first week was good. The second week was like fine. I just had some blue balls.
Yeah.
So like I made 124. There's nothing to scoff at, and this was fine. It definitely had really good parts, and then I just messed up parts of splits. Like Turtle Rock was insane all the way until Crystal Roller.
Yeah, I saw you like sub 7 with that is.
Yeah, I think it would have been like a 652 maybe, because of like how I had to do the TR maze as well, the pack maze. So yeah, that would have been really insane with normal pokies.
Yeah, it looks like is that a good time for you for Swamp? I don't actually know what your standards are. It looks pretty good. It's like a 647.
My Swamp was fine. I just had some really bad RNG. I got frame rolled a couple of times. But yeah, any 6-4X is like I'm okay with it, but I would kind of want probably like a 45, 44 if I want to be like really ecstatic about it.
Your recovery for the 0 cycle was phenomenal. Like, I didn't actually think that was possible, but you did it, so.
Mm-hmm. Yeah. That's something I was really happy about. And yeah, like I said, there's definitely individual moments. It's like, okay, well, I still got it, but like semi-sleep deprived NMG races are always like, well, we'll see how this goes.
Oh, okay, all right. Oh yeah. Speaking of, all right, what was in your cup, Eri? Was it tea? Was it coffee? Was it water? I think you had like a very short take a drink break in the middle somewhere.
Yeah, Hera basement.
Yeah.
I just want to say GG to Bydey, who just
Yes,
finished up.
that's true.
He had
Yeah,
a
GG.
like really good effort on his side. That TR gold was massive. So some really bright spots in his run as well.
Yeah, like, I just have to give massive props to Bydey. Like, he's been absolutely killing it the past few weeks, just putting out PB after PB, and just when he streams for like 9-10 hours, only doing runs and practice. He's definitely a really amazing and inspiring runner.
Yeah.
Speaking of, we have been joined by Bydey.
Hey, how you doing?
Yo, GG's Bydey.
Bydey,
Hey,
your
GG's, man.
performance, so fun to watch.
I've never had as much fun losing in my whole life.
I think I saw like 7 things that I've never seen before that you did in that run. So
Yeah.
that was pretty cool. I've been playing this game for a long time.
You know what? I've been trying to. I pretty much I knew it was over unless he died, but I don't know. I try to throw in as much stuff as you could possibly throw in that you might not have seen before. I did get a 655 TR gold though. So I'm
Yeah,
pretty
we were
happy about
pointing that out. Like I saw when you got your crystal cache. That was really good.
So that was about the only one good thing that happened in this run. Other than that, it was just absolute shambles.
Yeah, that's awesome. What's up with gold pokies or even with normal pokies?
Pardon? No, I just had terrible pokies.
Oh, that's insane then.
Yeah, I was really good TR. Like, that was just sensational. I got a really good Waffle House, and then the only thing that was bad was the pokies. I got a bad pokies, and then I got a slow cycle. But other than that, everything was good. But yeah, my light world was really, really bad. I don't know why, but my light worlds have been very bad lately. Like, I was plus 28 going into the blue balls. So, and that was the same with my last 2 runs. And even the run today, it was the same as plus 29 going into tag. I was just, I don't know, falling apart in the light worlds lately. But
you had your fair share of bad RNG though.
I did actually have a few bad ones that I was like,
we were talking
come
about
on.
that. You did some really nasty enemy RNG this whole run.
Yeah, I don't think it would have made much of a difference. But I don't think. Put it this way, I don't think I was putting up a 124 OX today. So definitely deserved winner. Very hard man to beat, even on a good day.
So you can always take a very short PB, a PB break, right? You can always PB tomorrow. Or later tonight.
Yeah.
Not matter.
Yeah, I'll definitely be taking a little bit of a break after the day, like maybe a couple of weeks or something. I've got some other stuff coming up, so I'm not finished with it for sure, though. I'm not done with it, but I'm going to take a break. So.
Yeah, I mean, you've been going hard at it for like a month at this point, and sometimes just taking a break kind of helps your brain process everything that you've been working on. So you only come back stronger. I have full faith. You're an amazing runner, dude. Like I was saying it before you joined, like, you've been putting in so much work, and when you do your streams, it's like 8, 9, 10 hours. It's phenomenal.
I guess it's just the kind of runner that I am. Sometimes, I mean, everyone does it in different ways. Like, some people do, 2 or 3 hour sessions, but do more of them. But I often don't have time for that. So, like, often I'll just have a couple of days, and it's just like, right, I've got 8 hours. Usually, if I'm doing night shift and I have to stay up, it's usually when I'm just like, right, well, I'm just going to stay up and just play all night, and then sometimes I won't stream for a couple of weeks after that. But yeah, I don't know. It's just the kind of person that I am. But I'm trying not to burn out too much. Like last time, I went pretty hard at it, whenever I took. But I did take a year off of it. But I'm still enjoying the game, and I was trying to make a way to make it fun. I was really down in the mid game there. I was just like really disappointed with my performance. But I mean, that's how it goes. And then I wanted to make a way of making it fun, because one thing I always preach, and I know it's always hard, but I just like to never give up on a race, no matter how bad it goes. Like, just because you just never know anyways, like anyone can die, like you can DNF, things can happen. So,
100%.
I mean, like I've just put a plus 6.5 minute run up, so Yeah.
I
You
mean,
just
things kind of, for the most part. I mean, the run, I think up till GT. I mean, especially for Turtle Rock, right, was actually was pretty good. Just a few things happened in the gauntlet. That's all.
Yeah. I was on 125 pace, I guess, going into Yanis Tower, but I can't remember. I was kind of messing around with some stuff, and I was trying to think of some stuff that again, some shenanigans stuff, and then I lost count of my arrows, and then I lost count of my hearts, and then died, and then I didn't have enough arrows to finish, so I had to go find arrows. And I don't play much other stuff, so I didn't know where they were. But then I remembered there was a chest down there. And how did your run go, by the way, Eri? Like, I'm gonna watch it back, but like it seemed like you had a fairly decent run.
Yeah, that was ups and downs. I had some really good splits. I just also had some mediocre RNG at points, and just general sloppiness. My light world was also just not what I was hoping for. And then I was on 123 going into like the top of GT, and then I kind of messed up the Bumble wall, and I'm not sure what happened, so I'll have to look at that. But yeah, I also almost had a really good Turtle Rock until Crystal Roller. I think we both messed up Mike chest, by the way. That was great.
Meyer chest?
Mike chest, like the Mike arrows.
Oh, Mike's chest, yeah. I forgot that I needed them is what I did. So I went in and did the regular strat and then realized I didn't have enough arrows and then had to go up top and then I still didn't have enough, so I had to actually reload the room again.
Oh, you got the
Yeah.
pot. Okay, I wasn't paying attention, and then I saw you like reload the room with 15 arrows, and I was like, "Bydey, get the pot!" But I guess I didn't notice that you'd already gotten the pot. That's
I'd
fine.
already got the pot at that point.
No.
I was like, "Oh yeah, that was real bad." I was just, my brain wasn't turned on. But that's all right. I was just having fun at that point.
You definitely look like you were having fun, like the whole time, even despite some of the mishaps in the actual game. So,
and I mean that's what it's all about. Like, don't get me wrong, like this game will push buttons that you never know you had sometimes, and like I've never been one to shy away from emotion. Like, this game pisses me off sometimes, but I also love this game too. Like, when you play well in this game and you get a PB, in my opinion, like there's just no better feeling than any other game I've ran. That it's just so rewarding, and you just gotta remember to have fun with the game sometimes, because sometimes shit's just not gonna go your way. But you know what? You can have fun too and just play the game, and especially during a race, like the option is either you be sulky and you play the rest of the run, you quit, which is no fun for the viewers, or you just have a laugh and have some fun and hopefully entertain people. You know, it's kind of the different options. So I try to choose option 3.
Well, I was entertained, that's for sure. And I will never many demur on Vitreous.
yeah, I was just actually going to think about that too. Very strong reminder to never mirror.
Never have, never will.
Yeah.
Oh, I forgot about that. Yeah, I forgot. Yeah, I figured you could find it entertaining.
By the way,
go ahead.
Go ahead, Matt.
No, I was just going to say thanks to Eri, obviously. He's the champion. Again, he's a top player, very hard to beat. So congratulations. And yeah, thanks to ZSR and to Fox and the crew for putting it on. I really, really appreciate the NMG and all the people that watched and the commentators. I love you all. Thanks.
No, I mean, I can't speak for everybody, but I mean, it has certainly been an absolute pleasure, and it's certainly very, very entertaining to watch, such talent be displayed, for this game. You guys play at, extremely high levels, so always really good to be able to see such great performances being able to be put on restream. Speaking of being champions and winners, just a minor prize for season 3. You guys both get to find a charity of your choosing that Fox will donate a bit more of his money for. So like Eri, because he wanted to give $50 for the charity of your choice, and then Bydey gets $25. So just something to think about. I'm sure Fox is not in any hurry, but something that you get for winning season 3.
Awesome. That's awesome. Really good. Yeah. Appreciate it.
Yeah, Fox is amazing stand guy, and huge thanks to him for organizing all of this. He's awesome.
Yeah, Fox has done 99% of the work here for adminning all of this, and of course, huge shout outs, of course, to ZSR basically for hosting this entire tournament and letting us, talk about NMG for a bit. So that's all I have. I hope you guys really enjoyed season 3. Matt, got anything else?
Nope, just huge GGs to all the runners. Thanks to everybody who makes this all happen. And looking forward to season 4.
Yeah, looking forward to season 4. Hint, hint, nudge, nudge.
So wait, you actually think Fox is gonna do a season 4? Or is it time for the fabled RMG League?
The admins will discuss, behind closed curtains.
Do the admins take bribes?
Well, sure. I mean, where do you think the charity money comes from, right?
Look, you don't ask questions. I won't give answers. That's how it works.
Exactly.
GG's, both Bydey and Eri. Please, if for some reason you're not following either runner, please give them both a follow. Our commentators holding down the fort. Very, very well done tonight, Matt and Clearmouse. We have reached that time. It is, unfortunately, no longer League. Sad.
That only means that it's almost League again.
Fair! But it's going to be almost for several months. Yeah, I guess that is still almost League. Yeah.
The months fly by.
Well, that's going to be it for us on ZSR tonight. Please keep an eye on the schedule going forward. There will be many things coming up all this week and beyond. Any final thoughts before we head on out for the evening?
No, my final thought is thank you again, Cubs and all the other restreamers, basically for ZSR, for making at least all the regions possible. And of course, echoing everybody else, thank you so much. Tournament is nothing without participants. Matt, Bydey, and of course Eri, everybody else, right, who participated. I think you guys are the real stars. So thank you.
With that, thank you all for joining us. It's been a pleasure once again. Until next time, stay safe out there. We will hopefully see you back here soon. Have a good night.